All right, hi, I'm Becklane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as our own, and we work at being the artists we've always wanted to be. And I'm so happy. I really did, honestly, finally figure out the Patreon page. When I last put my Patreon page, when I last posted yesterday afternoon, I was still frustrated. And then all of a sudden, last night, it's only been 2 or 3 years of me trying to fix this stupid thing, my page, and understand it better. But sometime last night, early evening, late-ish evening, anyway, I got it. I got it. I don't understand all of it, but I understand the basics in it. So I spent all day yesterday gutting the page, adding things and having to gut all that again, and then adding things and having to gut all that. And finally, when it all clicked, I understood how you could add things to tiers, what they call tiers, which are different levels that people can support you at. $5, $10, $20, whatever you choose, $40, $50, whatever the creator chooses, or the creator creates as a level. Anyway, I finally understood that the file for that particular level, or that tier, it's silly and complicated, and I've got to put my head together to explain it better. Yes, my last video, I explained that the tiers are like folders, and that you can add things to the folders. You can add individual items to the folders. That was almost correct. Almost. What you can do is say, put up a tier, but we're going to pretend it's a folder, like a file folder, at say a $20 level. And then you can add, and that's $20 a month level for patrons going in. You can add 1 or 2 items that the people going in and wanting to support you as a patron, if they choose that tier or that file with those 2 items in them, that's what they're going to get. It doesn't mean that you can add, or that's all you can add to that particular tier or file. I hope that's clear, sort of. I think I need a chalkboard or a whiteboard and marker so I can explain this to you in ways that no one else is explaining it on either Patreon or on YouTube. I can't tell you how infuriating this has been. So I think I'm going to work out a system where I can explain it to you, and then you guys can go on, whoever's watching this and wants to try can go on and give it a go. But anyway, so let's say you've got the $20 tier or file, and you've added 2 items to it, and those 2 items, the patron, your supporter, will be charged $20 a month. At the end of 3 months, they'll have that item. They will have that item, and they will be charged $20 per month. So it ends up being $60. Patron gets a big chunk of that. The artist, the creator, does not. I tried to keep my pricing as low as possible. Instead of marking things way up, so I made more money. I tried to make it so everybody's winning. Patreon, of course, is going to win, but so the supporter or the patron is winning as well as me. So, anywho, let's pretend we're charging. Let's just pretend. We'll make something up. We're charging $20 a month for, I don't even know what they are. A gator. A mug. Let's just say a mug to be clear. Let's pretend we're charging $20 a month for a mug. You've put it into a tier, into a folder. That is the only mug you can put in that folder. I'm not going to explain this well. You can't put more and more mugs on there, like say you would on a shelf. You've got a shelf and in a thrift store, or it's a $20 shelf somewhere. It's clear to everyone that mug, all those mugs are $20. That's it. That's the $20 shelf. That's where we're throwing all the mugs. You can't think that way on Patreon. you can't take all of your mugs and put them into that particular tier or file. Because if you do, your patron is going to get all your mugs and files for $20 a month. Patron doesn't actually allow you to do that, to make that stupid mistake, but it is so convoluted, the language and how they try to convey the information, that you think that you can take all of your mugs from the $20 shelf and put them in this tier or file. You can't. It says you will only be making, if you put too many in, when you get to like 3 or 4 mugs, we're using them as an example, it will say basically that you're going to be making $1 off of this over the 3-month period. You will be making a total of $1 off of these 3 or 4 mugs at that pricing. So, and all of this is fictional. You can't get like 40 mugs for $20. Let's just keep that in mind. We're using examples. So, that was one thing I had to figure out. So how do I make it more enticing? I do have a mug, and I can't remember what price. Let's just say $20 again. I do have 2 mugs available, I believe, at a $20 price point. I believe that's correct. And they're 2 that I made specially for Patreon. And that got me thinking, what else can I make for Patreon, specifically for Patreon that you can't get on TeePublic? So I went through and I did some overlaying using actually a meme generator. I took photographs and I added wording to them in the colors that I've been using most specifically on Facebook and Instagram and around. I've been doing real branding here, serious branding, brand recognition. So let me see, what was I saying? Oh, so I've got 2 mugs. There's me specific. It's about me specific. 2 mugs available at $20. I've got another 3 mug set that I made using a meme generator to add the text for $30. And then I've got a 4 mug set available for $40. According to Patreon, I should be charging a lot more, but I can't do it. I ethically cannot do it. So I've got these 3 different mug choices up now. I will be adding more. I've also got sets of gaiters that are up. I've got a 2 gaiter set, which is the face and neck covering. A 2 gaiter set that you can't get on TeePublic. None of this you can get on TeePublic now. A 2 gaiter set. One is Yeyu Kusama, and the other is one of the Frida Kahlos. My 2 most popular images you can get as a set, as a gaiter set. And then I've got another 2 gaiter set. And I think there's 1 or 2 other choices in there right now. I'm going to be adding items over time. I hope this is helpful to somebody and it made some sense. But I will be adding more items over time. It's just I've literally spent 2 days on my butt working on this, and I can't anymore. I've got to take a shower. I've got to go walk my neighbor's dogs. But so I've got these 4 or 5 or 6 item, I think 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. I've got some items up as sets made specifically and exclusively for Patreon. And then I've got the tiers correctly, where if people just want to say, here's $5 a month, let me help you get some paint. Here's $10 a month, let me help you get some paint. Here's $20 a month. They can just do that. There's no ties attached. They don't have to have any of my silly things that I've made, merchandise that I've made. But I am going to be expanding on time over the merchandise. The very, very cool, very, 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 very cool thing about Patreon is, let's say today you went on and you were like, oh my God, I love this stupid coffee set so much. It's ridiculous. I have to have it. But then in a week or 2 weeks or 2 months, I post something else. I add something else to Patreon and you like that better. You can actually shift. You can change your mind. You can shift from the original item to something else. So you can just switch it on over and it's no trouble. And I learned that actually from one of my patrons today, my friend Eric, who's been a patron for a long time. He went on today and he was like, oh, I can get a couple mugs or something for $20. I'm going to do that. So it's really easy to do. I hated Patreon yesterday. Today I kind of like it a lot. And I think it's going to get more and more fun as I start developing Patreon-specific items. And it'll be more fun with you, more fun for you when I can explain it like a grown-up who has a brain in their head. But I've really got to go take a shower and I've got to walk the dogs. Anyway, check out my Patreon link. Check out my Patreon page. I'm really, really proud of it. It was a chaotic mess a couple of days ago, and now it's not. You're welcome. And that's awesome. And thank you to everybody that's supporting me, including Eric and Kerry. And I think I bumped a couple of people. I think I deleted a couple of patrons that I've got to get a hold of now, because I'm kind of dumb and I did it when I was frustrated, gutted everything. So I did. I know I lost a couple of patrons. I think I lost Valerie and Pam. Oh well. Anyway, go to my Patreon page and take a look. All right. And Susan Struck, thank you, Susan rather. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go shower. I can't take the smell anymore. Ciao. Ciao. Please check out my Patreon page. Oh, and I also added links to TeePublic on each and every level. So you can go, wow, you know, it's going to be a lot of money for mugs. I don't know if I want this or I want something else for a little bit less. You'll be able to link from Patreon to TeePublic like that. And you can look at the 48 different designs we have on TeePublic and how much merchandise those images are available on, okay? All right, I hope that was helpful. I don't know. Ciao. 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 Meow, meow, meow.